Lumina Foundation is a private foundation based in Indianapolis. 100% of everything that we do is devoted to improving our post-secondary learning system so everybody has got the opportunity to thrive in the 21st century. We're about transforming skills, transforming knowledge, transforming our systems to make sure that everybody gets a fair chance.
A little closer to your mouth.
Oh, very sorry. I'm really excited to invite up on the stage 3 corporate leaders who we've had a chance to get to know over the last couple years, who are doing some really amazing things. Ellie from Walmart, Chris from Disney, and John from Discover Financial. And I just wanted to give them an opportunity to talk about the programs that you're developing, the work that you're doing, and the impact that you hope to make.
Yeah, why don't we start? Ellie, why don't you introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and what's Walmart doing to build ladders for your employees?
Great, thank you so much for having us. My name is Ellie Bردani, and I lead learning strategy for Walmart US. And a little bit that I wanted to share today is really around a program we announced on May 30th of this year around college readiness and college attainment for our associates at every level. In very short, what we have put forward through a partnership with Guild Education is a program in which every single associate in Walmart, so 1.4 million associates, have access to a 2- or 4-year college degree in business or supply chain management for no more than $1 a day. And this is for part-time workers, for full-time workers, for hourly, for salaried. The minimum eligibility is they have to be employed for 90 days. So we're very, very excited.
And let me ask you 2 clarifying questions. One, they may not know, how many people do you have working at Walmart? You have quite a few.
So we have 1.4 million in the US, 2.3 million across the world. And of those, there are about 900,000 frontline associates. So those are the ones, of course, we're hoping to help the most with this program.
Okay, and then my last question, why? So why is Walmart doing this? You know, what's the purpose?
Yeah, so for us, it's really twofold. It's around value to the associate and value to the business. And we think about that in terms of performance, right? The reason we all are invested in training and development is to increase performance and the skills of our workforce, but also, of course, retention, engagement, and hopefully a little bit around reputation. You may know that Walmart has a bit of an issue on that front. And so, of course, we're hoping that we can attract great talent because they know this program.
Great. Okay, let's go on to Chris.
Good morning, I'm Chris Trout. I'm with the Walt Disney Company, and I'm with our Enterprise Learning and Development team. I'd like to talk to you about Disney Aspire, which is related to both to what Ellie talked about and what John's going to talk about. And I think and hope that you have been having great service from Disney cast members while you're here. That's awesome to hear. And we just announced last August Disney Aspire, and so Disney Aspire is available to all of our 80,000 plus cast members across the United States, and we pay for college education, everything from trades to high school completions to college prep to up to master's degrees, 100% paid plus required books and fees is available to all our cast members and employees in the United States. And it's just an incredible opportunity. It's one of those few projects that I've been involved with where we are trying to maximize it to its fullest extent, to really invest. I think one of the cool things about Disney, and you get to experience here, is we're in the dream business, we're in the dream making business, we're in the quality and service business, and to be able to bring that to our cast members and employees, allow them to pursue their dreams, it's just a really cool thing.
And Chris, you have a lot of frontline employees, right. A lot of folks, it might be their first job,
yeah.
and the like. What's Disney's motivation? Is it that they will stay with you forever, or what is the role of that investment?
I actually think we're really unique here. We want to invest in our cast members and our employees to wherever their dreams and career hopes are going to take them. So if that's growing up and becoming a leader here at Disney or moving into a new position at Disney, that's awesome. However, if somebody wants to leave the company and we've paid for them to get their education, and they want to go on to pursue a job that we don't have, by the way, we have lots of different jobs, but if they want to leave us and go somewhere else, that is totally great. We want to invest in them. I think, and I actually think Bob Iger said it best. He said he believes education opens doors and creates new opportunities, and that's what we're out to do.
Yeah. Wonderful. So let's go over to John. Introduce yourself. What company?
Hi, my name is John Kaplan. I am head of learning at Discover Financial Services, and it was a couple years ago I was here after we had done a big study to assess the effectiveness of our tuition reimbursement program, and we worked with the Lumina Foundation, and we found out, I think what many suspected, is that our tuition reimbursement program provided enormous value to the company and to our employees. And we spent the ensuing 2 years working on the Discover College Commitment, which we rolled out this June. It is, you come to Discover, on day one of employment, you are eligible for a free bachelor's degree from one of 3 great universities. We pay all tuition. We pay required fees, book supplies. We even provide a tax gross up if there's a tax liability at the end of the day.
Now, Richard, you spent some time working at the White House and with government around government support. But you're hearing now a foundation working with 3 and more companies there. What's your perception about the role that corporations should play?
Yeah, so I love this, and I love what you guys are doing. And I think one of the things that is most exciting is the idea that this is not something that government should just don't know. I'm coming from 12 years in government and saying that. This is not a problem that government is going to be able to solve on its own. We have to be part of this solution. And I love the example that these organizations are showing. And by the way, I like learning from different examples. And I look over there where our Norfolk police officers are sitting, and I was thinking the way they got to that video that now almost 100 million people have viewed is because somebody gave them a challenge. I'm just saying, maybe you might think of a company and say, here's what we've done. We challenge you to set up a similar program. Just an idea you might want to think about.
Yeah. So, Haley, why don't you ask one more question, and then we'll see how people might get involved.
Well, thank you, Richard, for teeing that up really, really nicely. It's almost like we prepared
Uh-oh.
this.
Did I just blow it?
So Lumina has this goal of 60% of the population with a post-secondary credential. That means anything that happens after high school, a certification, a certificate, a degree, etc. Collectively, these 3 organizations are going to be providing opportunity for hundreds of thousands of Americans to get a quality credential. And that's amazing. What we need to reach our goal is millions. And so I would encourage you, think about how you're going to be building out your programs to result in completion. And the one question I want to ask you is, how important is that C word, that completion word, to your programs? Maybe you could just give a brief comment on that.
Yeah, thanks, Hailey. So I've said this in a couple of sessions. Completion is really the core of the strategy around how we build our program in every element of design. And I think this is really important because for a learner to get the true value, they have to walk away with that credential. We know that there's a huge student debt burden in this country, $1.5 trillion now, and we know that many adult learners never complete that symbolic receipt of the credential, and without that, they don't get the full value. Similarly, I think it's really important for employers to realize that if their students don't complete, the employer doesn't derive the full value, right? The skills are only learned upon completion. And so I just encourage everyone, as you think about designing programs, to really maximize the potential for completion, as I think the employers here are doing as well.
Yeah, and I would add to it, for us, again, we're paying and enabling everything from the trades to college prep to high school completion all the way up to master's degree. So I want completion on top of completion on top of completion, right? You know, pursue and go after things and chase after it. I think to touch this many people is an amazing thing, and to be able to, I was telling some folks yesterday, the best part of my week is Friday, not because it's Friday, but because on Friday I get to hear stories of our cast members and employees and what an impact it has made to them, and being able to tell their kids, like, I'm setting an example for you, or I'm being the first in my family. So I think it's all about completion, upon completion, upon completion for our 80,000.
So I think for many of us that went to 4-year residential colleges, we take for granted completion. The completion is just something you enter college, and the vast majority of people who enter college in a 4-year residential college graduate. That is not the way it is for a majority of Americans, that they are trying to do college while they are working, while they're managing their families and parents, and it is enormously challenging for many of our employees to complete their degree. And I think when you design these programs, you have to do it in a way so that they are optimized for working adults.
Yeah. And really, it's a story we could take hours to talk about, but what we really want to do is we want to engage you. The Mazie Center, our learning consortium, is working with Lumina now and in the future on this. Haley, there's a way that they could sort of connect with you.
So if you click on the hamburger, I think is the technical term, up in the top right corner or top left corner of your app, you'll see Lumina Foundation listed. There is a really brief survey that if you just go ahead and fill that out, that'll give us a way to find you and connect with you. Elliot and I are going to be building out opportunities to connect, grow, learn together, and build new efforts over the next year. And we're really excited to work with every single one of you.
And I want to really, on behalf of everyone, thank the three of you and our colleagues at McDonald's. I've had the opportunity to be on boards of directors. I'm a shareholder. I got to tell you, the only way we can invest in the future is if we invest in the future of the people that work for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, could we have a big round of thank you and let's do more for Discover, Walt Disney, and Walmart and Lumina.